Since I've turned 40, there has been a lot that has happened in my life, both good and bad, but I felt like I was at a point where I needed something else to take me to my next. So I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I um I just dove right in, like feet first, really. And so I kind of just trusted the process. And so it was very much of an unknown. I was leaving my family. I was alone. I wasn't going to have technology. I was trying to embrace it, but I was also a little nervous, a little fearful about what I would kind of get myself into. We got right to work the next day, and I think that was when I realized, this is serious, I guess. And we're doing all of this, like, kind of, clearing exercises, and things started to become like, "Okay, um, this is something that I need to commit to get something out of it, or if I don't, I'm not gonna get anything out of it." So I committed to the process, and from then on, over the next several days, I think it was just a build on top of one thing to the next, and really just kind of piecing all the things together. My anxiety, I think, went from, what is more? What more can I get? What more can I get? And I think even the last day, we did so much where it was like, I think we did so many activities on the last day that it was pretty incredible to see, like, we could get all of that done because we had already gotten to all these other things. So I think fear, anxiety turned into like, hey, I'm gonna commit and I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna do it, to clarity. Yeah, I think two things actually stand out in my mind, but the biggest thing I think for me is the be in the moment. I think that was a theme throughout this entire 4 days, was how do you sit in something and just kind of stew or deal with it as is and without a lot of noise. And the other piece I would say would be, how do you sound out the noise? So kind of in the same um, spirit, but more like, hey, I have constantly am analyzing my thoughts and analyzing the thoughts of others, and how do I get through that? So I think throughout the sessions, it was like constantly like confronting. I think that was the thing, was like it was constantly confronting these issues and confronting them. And so I think the hardest things was like the hold up the mirror and, hey, this is what's happening. Yeah, and so like coming out of it, I feel like, yes, I have the noise in my head. I have the ability to I have the recognition of that. I need to do something about it, and I have the tools to do it. I think if you have a image in your mind of something different for yourself than like you are today. Like you are here today and you're saying, "Oh, I think I need to be here." And there's much more work to do to get from point A to point B. And you recognize that maybe you know you can do it, but you need kind of a kick in the ass in order to do it. I would say that is this retreat is definitely for you. Yeah, so when I first learned about my spiritual team, it was like a aha moment, and it made me super confident, and made me feel a lot different, which was really funny because you can't see them. I think that's one of the most important things. You just feel like there are people or are things that are just with you, and it's just like friends. If you feel like you have a group of friends to back you, it feels different. It feels like somebody's there. I think also the hardest thing, or one of the biggest things, is how to be in the moment. So now, I'm recognizing that there's a way. I'm actually trying to now. I'm trying to focus on is mindfulness, and I've really been focusing on that for about since I left the retreat. And is how do you bring your thoughts back to the center? So you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're thinking about now. Um, One thing that Teresa did on my 3rd day or last day was she put a imaginary colander on top of my head with a coffee filter and said, "This is how you sound out the noise." So that's something that I take away from this. And then I think the other thing that a couple other things to point out is, like, how do you spend your energy? And I think before the retreat, I was always thinking that my time, like, if I say, "Hey, I want this for myself," or "I need this," it was almost in terms of selfishness, and now I don't feel like that at all. I feel like I should demand things for myself because I should be the most important thing, and if I am taking care of myself, I can take care of others. And then I think, Another one that's really personal to me is that I can't fix and problem solve everything, so this is a work in progress. But I think throughout the retreat, it was like even with others that were at the retreat, I wanted to fix their problems. I want to solve with them, and I was put to the test to say focus on yourself. So coming out of that, that is something else where I was like, okay, I'm much more aware, and it's not something I can see myself not going in that direction after like just a few days.